Hello everyone, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're going to be taking a look at No More Shaking, the expedition to unlock Wahweap Bay in Arizona. So, for this expedition, because this is one of the few maps, or few expeditions that are cross-map expeditions, and we need to do some seismic surveys and some exploration over in Wahweap Bay when we get there. So, I have brought the Step 310E. And to start off, we're going to leave base, and I'm going to plot a route here. And we're going to basically just kind of come down around this way and go up over this way by the plane. And once we get over by the plane, we're going to come down over this way. And that's going to bring us up over here, come across this way, and that's going to get us up over to the gateway. So, as far as equipment loadout, I have brought with me 2 sets of jack screws and 2 sets of anchors, just in case we need them. The anchors you definitely are going to need, and the jack screws are just for emergency purposes. So, I also loaded the Tez Action full of fuel, so we have all kinds of extra fuel with us, because this is a expedition where you're going to need lots of fuel. Once you get over to the other map, because there's quite a bit of tricky terrain when we get over to Wahweap Bay, and getting up to the top of the hill, which you'll see when we get there, is quite tricky. So first things first, we got to get over to the gateway. So I am using high gear on the step right now, just because the default gears on the step are a little funny sometimes. It doesn't like to really stay in gear, so it's just kind of sluggish. So when it comes to using the step, I like to keep this thing in high gear, and I did put a waypoint over there. We don't really need that there. We need that like right here. So I like to put this thing in high gear. It keeps it relatively consistent speed, and it does kind of save a little bit on the fuel burning because you're kind of just moving a little bit quicker. But this is one of the first really difficult expeditions I had come across when I was playing this game, so thought this would be a cool one to kind of get a guide out for you guys so you can kind of see kind of the routes and how we're kind of approaching this this expedition here. So the Action is stuck a little bit there. I'm going to turn that engine on so we can get a little bit more strength up the hill here. Again, our main purpose with the Action is for a little bit of extra scouting when we get over there, as well as just a big fuel tank, so that we'll have some extra fuel when we get to the other map. Because once you get to the other map outside of airdrops, there's really not much available, as we got a little airdrop here. So we're actually going to stop at this airdrop real quick. Okay, you do that. We're going to grab an extra jack here. We're going to grab these supplies, and I am going to refuel the truck. You are upside down now. There we go, now it's back on 4 wheels. Perfect. So this mud bog Not super complex, but you do kind of snake your way through it because it's really easy to get hung up on the rocks that are sitting in the mud there. But what we're aiming for is this kind of gap in the rocks here. Kind of wedged right now. There we go. Alright, so once we're clear of this, now we're going to make our way over to the gateway. To that, we're going to go down over here. And then we're going to aim for this little shallow spot here. Just go straight up it. And then over to the right, and here's the gateway. Now you do got to keep in mind, the way gateways work in expeditions, you can bring trucks through the gateways with you as long as they are attached by the winch. But you cannot swap back over to the map once you have moved over. So you got to make sure that the truck you're trying to pull is hooked up with the winch. Now we've got travel to Wahweap Bay. So we're going to head over to Wahweap Bay, and now we'll have both trucks with us in Wahweap Bay. Alright, so what we're looking for is we got to explore this area over here. So to get to that, it's kind of hard to see the map, but we're going to go down this way, and then there's going to be a path down to the shore where we'll be able to go around and cut across. So we're going to head around these rocks to the left here. Put that high gear on. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we're going to grab the drone, and I do have the drone operator, so we have extra range on the drone. But it's not here. Where was the drop off? I think it was down over this way. Yeah, it's right there. So we're going to be coming across and going down over here. And once we get to that level, we'll be able to get down the rocks over there. And we got to get across over there. So that is where we are headed. Don't want to go up this rock. what we want to do is go up this way. Don't mind the Action, it's just going to bounce around a little bit. But this is what we are looking for over here. And what we can do is run the binoculars over this way. That's going to open up some of the exploration area that we need. So once we've made it over here, we're going to head on down. And you're going to work your way over to this gap in the rocks here to come down to the lower level. And then we're just going to go across over here. Now, once we've made it over here, our goal is to kind of get to this road. So there's a low spot up ahead here that we'll be able to use to get to this. It's kind of like a little dirt road here. So you want to go for, there's this small spot where the rocks are connected here. You want to not get your tires caught in there, and we're going to go across. And here we are. So what we're going to do is use the drone and open up this area a little bit, because we need to get up on top of this mountain here. And there's a path up the mountain. It's very steep, but there's a path up on this far side here that we're going to have to take the step up the mountain for. So as you can see, we got quite a bit of the map opened up, so we're going to hit the binoculars and kind of go scan the horizon here. That should open up everything except there's a little spot over here. We need to fly the drone over. Right. So now begins the fun part. So now we have to make our way over to the mountain and begin the climb. Alright, so this is our way up. Before we do that, I'm going to check the map, see if there's anything we need to scan with the binoculars. Scan it this way. There we go. Okay, so everything on this side of the mountain is explored. So, here is where the fun begins. So this is where I'm going to leave the Action. And I'm going to go ahead and do a trade. And we are going to fill this step all the way up with fuel. And if we need to, the Action is here. And we're going to get ourselves up to the top of this mountain. And there are plenty of branches you can use, but if you're having trouble, we do have the anchors. We'll probably be using for these later parts, but you definitely need to use the winch to get up this hill. So I'm actually going to pressure down, pop low gear. Gonna pull ourselves free with the tree over there, and then get ourselves straightened out. Alright, now we have made it to the top of the mountain. So from the top of the mountain, we'll be able to drive over to the edge here. And we are at 94%, so we're going to take the binoculars and just kind of scan down the horizon here. There's an airdrop there. Alright, and the exploration section is done. So now we need to get over to this spot right here. So we're just going to drive right on over to the waypoint. Oh, I was mistaken. It is not here we need to go. It is over to the other. I could have sworn this is the spot. Oh well. I remembered incorrectly, but that is okay. This is where we need to go. Right up here, start the seismic vibration. And there you go. No more shaking done in about 20 minutes. So this expedition unlocks the external roll cage for the Tuz Action, as well as your first outpost in Wahweap Bay. This is quite a challenging one. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.